I'm Shaun Ryder. As a 15-year-old lad in Salford, long before my hell-raising antics and Happy Mondays, I saw a ball of light whizzing about in the night sky as I stood at a bus stop. I knew there and then I'd seen a UFO. Ever since, I've been obsessed with all things extraterrestrial. I've always wanted to understand what I saw that day, and in this series, I'm going to do just that. My mission is to seek out those at the forefront of UFO research, and through them try to discover how other people deal with this most mysterious phenomenon. I'll be meeting the top dogs of ufology, from generals and scientists to the abductees themselves, to hear what they have to say and to separate fact from fiction. That's clear as daylight, that.
Well, it is. This is one of the strangest, mysterious things that I've ever seen.
Anoche en Santiago.
A los presuntos tripulantes de la nave.
Miren la de allá, esas tres de ahí. Luces se multiplicó como por 3 y empezó a ser como un tagadá.
Chile is the UFO capital of South America. With more sightings per square kilometre than almost anywhere else on the planet, the country's media is awash with reports of mysterious happenings in its skies. I'm headed to Santiago, the capital of this country, squeezed between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean, stretching almost 3,000 miles down the continent's west coast. I've been here before with a band, and after 20 hours on a plane, it always feels like I've arrived at the edge of the world. But there'll be no trashy hotel rooms or dealing with cranky roadies. I've come here to meet the people who can shed some light on Chile's most amazing UFO sightings, and everyone has their own point of view.
No hay familia en Chile que no tenga una o dos personas que no hayan visto alguna cosa.
Yo siempre he creído que los ovnis nos han estado visitando, han recorrido nuestros cielos desde hace muchos años.
Podemos decir de que este fenómeno está presente en nuestro espacio aéreo controlado y fuera de él también.
Santiago itself has a rich history of UFO sightings. I'm meeting Antonio Hos, a world-renowned UFO writer and expert who's been investigating them for 20 years. I'm expecting some mind-blowing stuff, so it's vital I'm properly prepared.
It's almost gone. Better not have another one, though. I'll be whizzing my tits off.
Hi, Shaun.
Hi, Antonio.
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you.
It's the one and only. So
what have you got for me?
Well, we're going to this place called El Bosque.
El Bosque.
Yeah, which is where the Air Force Academy is located.
Okay.
And where this incident took place just about exactly 2 years ago.
The El Bosque case has rocked the world of ufology. 6 months ago, footage captured at a Chilean airbase was released that appears to show a genuine UFO. It's a major factor in why I've chosen to come to Chile now, and I'm hoping Antonio will help me get to the bottom of it.
Basically, what we're seeing here is every 4 years, you have a change of the commander-in-chief of the Chilean Air Force.
So they boot him out every 4 years?
Yeah, automatically it changes.
Okay.
And because it is the Air Force, they do this big military parade. A lot of people take films, you know, a lot of people photograph it. And 7 different videos show this little object going very, very fast.
Although almost too fast to be seen with the naked eye, once the video is slowed right down, something seriously weird appears. The video shows a dome-shaped, flat-bottomed metallic object buzzing around the fighter jets.
Of course, there are many cases, you know, of military pilots seeing UFOs, but there are not too many videos where you see both of the aircraft and the UFO. Very few.
What speed do you reckon this is going?
Well, in one of the analysis, they estimated that it was like 18 times faster than the planes or something, because that's a nice thing about this video. They know how long it takes from one side of the mountain here to the other side. So there are a lot of known parameters, which is normally you don't have that in videos, you know.
So a couple of thousand miles an hour or something?
Something like that.
Wow. And has that been looked at? It's not a mosquito, is it?
Well, some people say it is.
Yeah, they probably would, yeah.
That was the one that was suggested.
The only one they had left for the blag.
Right. And one of the reasons it's so interesting is because it was released officially by the committee. You know, Chile has...
Well, Chile seems to be quite free on releasing stuff, don't
It
they?
it is.
Chile is unusual in being among a number of countries that officially take UFOs seriously. So much so that in 1997 the government set up a committee for the study of anomalous aerial phenomena, or CEFAA, to analyse and study all sightings of UFOs reported in the country. Once CEFAA is certain an object is truly unidentifiable, they officially release the footage, like they did with the El Bosque video in March 2012. I'm intrigued. It's time for Antonio and I to see this place for ourselves.
So I guess we'll
Yeah,
go.
let's
We'll
go.
go to the actual
Yeah.
place. There's nothing better to investigate a UFO case than to go to the spot where it happened, you know?
Off to the spot. I guess that's us.
That's ours, I believe, yeah.
So how long you reckon the drive is?
I think about half an hour,
Half an hour, that's good.
depending on traffic, but it shouldn't be too much more than that.
After you, Antonio.
As we head out into Santiago's rush hour traffic, it's time to pick Antonio's brain about some of the questions that keep me awake at night.
Why is it that people are so fascinated by UFOs? I mean, why am I fascinated by UFOs? I mean, with me, it all stems back to what I saw when I was a teenager. But, you know, then again, it just seems almost ridiculous that we're the only people in the universe.
Right. Well, for me, I think it's the mystery, you know, because even the skeptics have to recognize that at least as a sociological phenomenon, UFOs are real. In other words, people see stuff. Nobody can deny that.
No.
But we don't know what it is. That's why they call them UFOs, right?
I mean, my first
Maybe
time when I saw something was in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
Just literally flying about like this.
Yeah.
And then off.
That's kind of the same thing I saw in here. My first UFO sighting was in 1988. I saw these like lights. I mean, it looked like a star, had the luminosity of a star, but it was moving like crazy, you know, just like, and then it would stop, and it went on for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Antonio and I have had the same experience, but we're not alone. 2/3 of close encounters of the first kind, that is, sightings of UFOs, are similar to ours. Mysterious lights in the night sky moving with incredible speed and performing impossible fast changes of direction.
I looked up in the sky once and saw literally hundreds of small lights, you know, all like hundreds of them.
Oh, really?
Going across the sky. And then the next day, it was on the local news that apparently it was supposed to be the lights from the rugby ground, which was just
That
rubbish.
was the explanation.
Yeah, it was garbage. And even when they went haywire, they didn't look like that.
And this was in Britain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of strange stuff.
I mean, if they suddenly announced tomorrow that, you know, oh, we've contacted other people in the... I mean, a lot of people would go bananas. I don't think, even nowadays, they would be able to take it. Mathematically, we're teeming with life.
Yeah, exactly. And then the universe is so huge. Why would it just be one place with life? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
To put the mathematical chance of life elsewhere in the universe into perspective, it's important to understand Earth's place within it. Our galaxy contains an estimated 400 billion stars. If the planets around just 0.001% of these harbour some kind of life, that still leaves 40 million, almost 3 times the population of Chile, that could support life. Once you then consider our galaxy is just one of billions in the known universe, it's enough to twist anyone's melon. The universe may be vast, but it's conspired to put Antonio and I together on this mission.
We're going to be there where this thing happened right now. The odds that we're going to see UFOs, I doubt it, but you never know, of course. But
Antonio has his doubts, but as we weave our way through Santiago, I know from personal experience that stranger things have happened. I'm Shaun Ryder, lead singer of the Happy Mondays. I'm in Chile on a mission to find out the truth about the country's UFO sightings. On the trail of one of Chile's most curious recent cases, I managed to get official military clearance to the Chilean Air Force Base, El Bosque, outside Santiago. Commander Perry, a fighter pilot and instructor, is here to meet us.
Hello, sir. Hiya.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
And you.
Welcome to the Air Force Academy.
Thanks for having us.
Home to the Chilean Air Force Academy, the skies above the base are often abuzz with military aircraft. But on November the 5th, 2010, it played host to something much more mysterious.
Anyway, this is good. When I left Northern England, it was snowing, so this is a lot better.
This is the base, is
Yeah.
it? Where the...
That's right.
Was you here that day?
I was there. I was in the part of the formation of F5.
You was flying?
Investigation. That's right.
Wow.
What do you think that is?
Well, I certainly don't think it's an insect. You know, as somebody said.
Maybe dust in the camera or no?
No.
I didn't say anything. I was just
Too busy
seeing the
concentrating.
formation. Yeah, very busy.
So when you was flying that day, what speed was you doing in your plane?
We passed about 350 knots.
And that thing was probably going about 3,000 miles an hour.
Very fast here.
I'm really excited to be here and see, you know, see where it was all happening.
Chile's governmental body dealing with UFOs, CEFAA, has a rigorous process of determining what constitutes a genuine sighting. And the El Bosque video has stood up to all their tests.
El 95% de la información que a nosotros nos llega, nosotros de alguna manera la aclaramos o la desechamos. Nosotros tenemos alrededor de 200 casos, los cuales han sido investigados y que para algunos y que no tenemos explicación prácticamente. Digamos, o que tienen una explicación que es un fenómeno aéreo no identificado.
Of the 7 videos captured that day, so far only one has been officially released by CEFAA. In it, the suspicious object passes through the frame several times as the military jets take part in the air show. We're heading to the exact spot from where the video was shot, and I can't wait to see it for myself.
This looks familiar.
That's right. This is pretty much the same position that the video was made.
Okay, so we got the video here. We can reconstruct actually the incident as it happened. There are the hills.
That's right. And we see the building.
And that's the building, right?
You can see the front, the forest and the buildings on the front. It's the same position.
And nobody saw anything.
Nobody saying
No.
anything.
No, I guess it took a while, right, until people start reviewing the footage.
That's right.
And nothing shows up on radar.
We use actually a radar to keep the distance between all formations. So and that day nobody reports nothing unusual.
Right.
Even though no one noticed anything that day, I'm intrigued to find out Commander Perry's professional view of just what the UFO might be.
So you've seen the video of this. I mean, what do you think that is?
Good question. I think it's strange because it's nothing military or civilian aircraft. It's not a bird, so maybe we have something out of this planet in that video.
Coming from an Air Force pilot, this is music to my ears. Even in a UFO hot zone like Chile, authentic sightings are rare. I've been here less than 24 hours and already my investigation is up and running.
Bueno, en general los pilotos o la gente que trabaja en aeronáutica, tanto pilotos como controladores de tránsito aéreo y de radar, nosotros les llamamos testigos calificados porque la preparación que ellos tienen es distinta a la de una persona que trabaja en otra cosa. Y por otro lado, el que está más familiarizado con distintos modelos de aeronaves o distintos fenómenos meteorológicos que están ocurriendo hoy día en nuestra atmósfera.
This is our first bit of real evidence. It's, I'm over the moon, you know?
Yeah.
So it's great to speak to people in the military who are brave enough to come on camera and say that it's a possibility that it's not of this world.
That's right. Maybe it's a possibility. I don't have the answer. But maybe we have in front of something out of this world.
Before that news has even sunk in, we're told about a newly discovered video filmed the same day by the Air Force personnel. Not only has it never been seen before, even CEFAA don't know it exists. Unbelievably, we're offered the chance to analyse it in the base's command centre. Antonio and I are eager to find out whether this new footage will give us any extra answers.
We're watching the air parade. This is the F5 formation, which the UFO appears in another video.
So you were
one of these?
That's right in the middle. That's the guy. That's it.
Ah, that's you. Yeah.
There's the birds.
The birds and crossing in the video.
Well, whatever those UFOs were in the film, in the famous ones, it's certainly, you can totally rule out birds, huh?
Yeah,
birds
yes.
are
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
different.
absolutely, yeah.
Because we have lots of examples of birds.
Checking out the local bird library is all well and good, but if I'd have wanted to go twitching, I could have stayed in Salford.
So that is another one formation of F-16, and nothing appears. Did you look at?
I just saw something then.
That's right.
Yeah. It was down here. There.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
See?
I mean, I don't know, but there's something there. Yeah.
But I think maybe it's a reference.
I don't know, I mean...
Well, there is something there.
I think it's I don't know, maybe a light, a reflex, I don't know, of the camera.
No, I don't think it's a reflex, but
It's one chubby bird. It's a fast-flying chicken.
A ver, retrocede el principio.
There it is.
No, antes, déjala el F5 también. F5? No, let's see it by the beginning.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very similar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that makes it 8 videos now.
Yes.
We had 7 before.
Well, it definitely, I don't think that was a bird.
No, because we had lots of birds.
Yeah,
So
no.
we can
Looks different.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
make great comparison with birds.
They're not going to let us take away that film.
Probably not.
It's only a brief glimpse, but I'm sure what I've just seen is the same UFO as the one on the original El Bosque video. I'm blown away by the tape, but also by these people. It's impossible to imagine being welcomed with such open arms, investigating UFOs at a military base back home. They're even going to give us a copy of our newly discovered 8th tape.
I'm really pleased that we've managed to get a copy and we're going to get it looked at.
Still, even though I'm convinced, the cynic's voice is never far away when it comes to controversial subjects like this.
Ellos dicen en la televisión, bueno, este es un insecto porque yo digo que es un insecto y no hay ninguna prueba detrás, ¿ya? Nosotros hemos publicado en la página web un estudio de nuestros astrónomos en el cual ellos dicen de que ahí hay algo y dan sus razones.
En algunas filmaciones se ven claramente insectos, en otras hay unos objetos medio extraños y mientras siga el proceso de investigación todavía no se puede determinar qué es lo que ahí ocurrió.
Much more than I expected. Brilliant, thank you.
I've only just arrived in Chile, and I have to admit, I wasn't expecting so much so soon. It may just be pixels on a screen, but like me, the people here are open to the idea that it might just be more. And that's good news for the rest of my trip. The 7,000 miles that I travelled up here is already starting to feel like it was well worth the effort. I've travelled to Chile on a mission to unearth the truth behind the country's UFO phenomena. My trip has got off to a flying start with the discovery of a UFO on the previously unseen video at El Bosque Air Base. My aim today is to get up close and personal with the real thing. I'm heading 30 miles east of Santiago to Cajón de Maipo, one of Chile's UFO zones calientes, or hot zones. This area in the foothills of the Andes has long attracted tourists, but some are convinced the visitors are coming from much further afield, other star systems.
Hay sectores de Chile donde hay hasta 2 avistamientos semanales, en algunos casos hasta 3 avistamientos semanales. Es constante ese tipo de incidentes y lo que hace que Chile sea un laboratorio fabuloso para investigar in situ los sucesos ovnis.
I've arranged to meet ufologist Miguel Jordon. He's been coming here since the early 90s and I'm excited about what he has in store for me.
Hi.
Hi, monsieur.
Nice to meet you.
And you?
Finally, huh? Here in
good.
Chile.
Yeah. So, what is this place? Where are we?
You're welcome to San Jose Maipo. This is a little town in the middle of the Cajón del Maipo Valley. And this is a very special area for us because here we have seen a lot of UFOs. Maybe 30 or 40% of the people living here or visiting this area have seen a UFO.
3 out of 10 people in the square might have seen a UFO.
Well, I would say yes, but let's try if this is true. Let's prove it. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Miguel seems pretty confident and with good reason. In 2002, the town's mayor declared San Jose de Maipo a UFO tourism zone after he and other locals made sightings. I'm just hoping my dodgy Spanish doesn't alienate me.
Con Shaun, un colega investigador, queremos hacer una consultita. Quizás no va bien, quizás no. Les quisiera consultar si alguna vez han visto en esta zona o donde sea algún ovni. No. ¿Tú tampoco has visto uno? ¿Caballero tampoco ha visto ninguno? Perfecto. They haven't seen a UFO.
Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Well, that got off to a shaky start, but with plenty more people in the square, I'm not going to be put off that easily.
What about this man?
Sure, could be. Let's try, why not?
Yeah, try him.
Yo trabajé 43 años en la planta Quiltehue.
En la planta Quiltehue está 43 años trabajó.
43 años. Y ahí siempre aparecían los hombres de lejos, los veíamos así nomás.
¿Y su otro colega de turno también?
También.
He and also the college, they have seen the same phenomenon for a long time.
Lights, slow-moving lights, or the...
Yes.
You see the...
No se veía la luz así nomás.
Ya. ¿Cuánto duraba? ¿Cuánto tiempo duraba?
Correría un par de minutos.
Un par de minutos.
Sí, y después...
Minutes, a couple of minutes.
Y después se desaparecía.
¿Lento o rápido?
Rápido.
Yes, as usual, yeah.
Fast, yeah.
What the old fella there seems to have seen is, you know, what I saw, the fast-moving, side-to-side, zigzagging off. It's the second person we've asked, you know, so that's pretty good. That's 50% already.
If I wandered down Deansgate in Manchester asking people about UFOs and been told to get lost, I wonder whether the openness here is just down to what they've witnessed or something more fundamental about Chileans.
Chile es un país mágico y que vivimos mirando hacia arriba y sintiendo hacia abajo los terremotos. Yo creo que de alguna forma ver luces y cosas extrañas, el fenómeno ovni podría dar alguna explicación al inconsciente colectivo de la población. Le tenemos una cultura ufológica, creo yo, debido a que tenemos muchos años de avistamientos y experiencias de este tipo.
Mira, nosotros somos comuna acá en el pueblo, de acá. Yo soy criado en este pueblo. Nosotros antiguamente trabajábamos en la locomoción colectiva aquí. ¿Ya? Y viniendo de Santiago hacia el Cajón del Maipo, tipo 11 de la noche, en la bajada de la Laja, se nos apareció una luz grande. Y esa es una luz que bajó de ahí de la bajada de la Laja, ya viniendo al Cajón del Maipo, se nos apareció esa luz. Y lo siguió a nosotros.
Hola, ustedes son de acá, ¿no es cierto?
No.
Son visitantes. Sí. ¿Usted viene regularmente al Cajón del Maipo? Perfecto. Entonces quizás habrán visto alguna cosa extraña en el cielo alguna vez.
No.
¿Cómo fue lo que viste? ¿Qué te tocó ver? Si se puede saber.
Luces, movimiento, extraño, muy rápido. Muy rápido.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Everybody seems to have their own take on extraterrestrial life.
Mucha gente en sus familias tiene experiencias ovni. No hay familia en Chile que no tenga una o dos personas que no hayan visto alguna cosa.
She was not a witness,
No.
but
Her husband didn't see anything like this?
¿Cómo fue el fenómeno? ¿Te lo contó tu esposo?
Sí, sí me lo contó.
¿Nos lo podría describir, por favor?
Bueno, eran tipo 2, 4, 5 de la mañana y él iba viajando y entonces vio una luz fuerte y no le dio miedo, pero esa luz prendía, apagaba. Y después empezó a avanzar muy lentamente y ya después se le perdió.
Las luces de color en la noche porque es como ver una disco.
Does he think we're alone in the galaxy?
¿Usted cree que estamos solos en la galaxia?
No.
¿Usted cree que estamos acompañados?
Sí, estamos acompañados.
Yes, we are not alone.
That's good.
We spent the morning in the square, and it turns out Miguel's prediction was actually conservative. In fact, around 70% of the people we've asked claim to have seen a UFO. What strikes me is how similar these people's experiences are to the one I had all those years ago on the other side of the world.
We're all in the same club. You've seen one, you've seen one.
Same club.
Miguel suggests a place further up, Cajon del Maipo, as a perfect spot for us to try and see a UFO. And so we head up into the mountains. The Andes is the longest mountain range in the world, stretching 4,300 miles through 7 countries. Formed 138 million years ago, when the South American and Nazca tectonic plates smashed together, they rise to the height of almost 7,000 meters and are home to scenery as brutal as it is beautiful. Not only that, they play host to some of the clearest skies anywhere on the planet, perfect for spotting any extraterrestrial visitors. After the success of this morning, it's hard to believe we won't see something for ourselves. And as the evening starts to draw in, I'm feeling tense.
Well, hey. What a place. What a nice place. 5 minutes ago, sunshine boiling hot, speedos and beach. Now,
amazing, huh?
So this is where we get a lot of UFO sightings here?
Yeah, I would say it's a very wide area where this kind of phenomena have been appearing since a long time. We have a history of 200 or 300 years of UFO phenomena. The Spanish guys that arrived to South America, in the beginning, they brought everything. The lights that came from the water or came from the mountain down that move in a very specific way. These episodes were written using other words, other descriptions. But if you try to interpret what they were trying to tell us, the phenomenon is the same. So it's a very, very old story.
According to Miguel, Chile has been visited by aliens for centuries, but one intriguing theory states contact goes back far beyond the arrival of the conquistadors and into antiquity, a hypothesis known as paleocontact. The idea suggests that primitive man's exposure to ancient aliens influenced the development of culture and religion on Earth, and that as a consequence the deities worshipped in modern-day faiths were in fact originally extraterrestrial. As to why aliens might want to visit our planet, one theory is that Chile is being used as some kind of intergalactic petrol station.
Creo que los minerales son un factor preponderante para la cantidad de observaciones de ovnis que hay. Un territorio con muchos recursos naturales porque creo que hay una relación directamente proporcional entre la necesidad de energías por parte de este fenómeno y quien las provea. Hay una relación entre naturaleza, abastecimiento energético y fenómeno ovni. Eso de todas maneras lo creo.
What's the most spectacular story that you think's credible of happening up here?
For me, the most spectacular phenomena was one day suddenly a UFO appeared and I say, please wait. I go to the battery, I put it on, and then I make the lightings. They ask me with light, and then they disappear.
Could you sort of guess how big this thing was?
Well, it's difficult to say because you cannot see exactly the form. Maybe you suppose it's 200 meters away, but it could be maybe one. It's difficult to say.
Hoy día en Chile, el 80% de los casos que llegan aeronáuticos son todos distintos entre sí. distinto en tamaño, distinto en color, distinto en movimiento, distinto en la situación o el lugar geográfico donde se manifiestan, distinto en sus formas. Por lo tanto, hacer un catastro resulta ya complejo. Eso nos demuestra lo difícil que es estudiar este fenómeno.
So what we're going to do is just wait till it gets dark. And then hope for the mountain to open up.
We normally arrive at this hour in order to see the area, the whole area, because in the night when it's very, very dark, if something appears, you want to be very sure that what he's looking is a UFO.
So if I see a UFO, what should I do?
I would say the best what you can do is stay quiet, look at the phenomena, warn the others, but don't run, because you know when something appears, some people react in a very difficult.
I run from fucking nothing.
After living what can only be described as a colourful life, it takes more than a few lights in the sky to scare me. So as the sun sets, Miguel and I turn our gazes to the heavens and wait.
So when you're doing a sky watch, is it important to be quiet and not talk and keep your eyes on the sky?
The idea is more to enjoy the sky watch, to enjoy the nature, and also if you see a UFO, this is for me a pleasure. It's for me something like a prize, you know?
You see, I don't go to nightclubs or disco dancing or the pub anymore because I'm very sad. I go out in the middle of my garden at home and look at the stars all night. Last night I was lucky enough to see 4 shooting stars.
Shooting stars?
Yeah, 4.
Wow. How long was it?
The star? Seconds.
Seconds, oh yeah.
Well, 4 of them.
The people who think that the UFO phenomena research is something easy, they don't know what they are talking about.
It might not be easy, but being up here with Miguel means I've got the best chance of seeing a UFO since I was 15, so I'm going to wait this one out. I've left the band back in the UK and travelled 7,000 miles to Chile on a mission to discover the truth behind the country's many UFO sightings. I've come to the UFO Watch Spot, Cajon de Maipo, with expert skywatcher Miguel Jordon to try my hand at UFO hunting. But 3 hours in, and with all still quiet in the skies above, it reminds me what we're stood here for.
Some UFO episodes begin with flashing. You follow the flashing and suddenly they stop and they may begin to make movements, and you have only to follow them.
And he hasn't spoken a moment too soon.
There's one?
Yeah, I saw something.
Oh, there. Have you seen?
Yeah.
You see? No, it's something. It could be also a plane. But normally the flags, there's something like 200 kilometers to the north. Look, there's another satellite there in the top, coming from left to right.
But it's soon obvious that whatever the light was, unfortunately, it's not what we're here looking for. And I get the feeling Miguel's even more desperate to see a UFO than I am.
I did see something flash before, but again, I just think it was a star in the cloud. But I mean, yeah.
In the beginning, I suppose it was a cloud too. There are a lot of mysteries in the sky.
It seems to me this place has put Miguel on edge. And as Khan descends, he opens up about a UFO experience that's had a deeply profound effect on him.
I was a UFO researcher until 2003. I would say I'm still a UFO researcher, but the problem is I'm not making sky watching since 2003 after an episode where we, with other 12 or 13 person, suffer a missing time. From that time, I don't take people to the sky watching because I feel responsible of everything that could happen to the people.
What impresses me about some of these missing time experiences is that they occur collectively sometimes, and the onset of the amnesia in 2 or more witnesses seems to occur at the same time. Now, if these memory gaps were due to purely internal psychological processes, you wouldn't expect that. If you and I took LSD right now, You wouldn't expect our trips to begin exactly at the right time, end at precisely the right time, and have the same content. But that seems to be the case with some of these missing time experiences. And that gives me the feeling that we're dealing here with something genuinely anomalous, genuinely paranormal.
From missing time, 1 or 2 hour missing time, I would say most of us, we cannot remember what happened. And that's a problem. When you cannot remember what happened, you ask yourself why. And you say, what happened there? And this kind of questions remain, and you say maybe something happened and you will remember it in the future. And some guys remember, other not. And if it was a bad experience, I feel responsible. So there is a risk you take when you enter into this phenomenal research. But if you're a researcher, you are obligated to look for the truth. For me, this is not a joke.
The night sky might not be lit up with alien spacecraft, but stood gazing at the southern skies up here in the Andes feels like a real privilege.
Well, this might be a UFO hotspot, but I'm bloody freezing. I have no testicles and no penis. So I might have to call it a night. I've just not got the vibe tonight.
I was willing something to happen tonight, but it just wasn't to be. As we jump back in the 4x4 to drive back to civilization, though I feel unlucky not to have seen anything, this has been a night I won't ever forget. I know the sky watching from my garden in Salford just won't ever be the same when I eventually get home. It's the start of a new day in Santiago. I'm back in the city, but here in Chile you don't need to be in the middle of the wilderness to find stories of UFO sightings. Wherever you are, they're surrounding you. I'm on my way to investigate one of Chile's more bizarre UFO events, which happened in the skies over the capital itself on January 31st, 1998.
El caso consiste en que en una familia que está en su casa celebrando el cumpleaños de uno de los hijos, la familia sale a la calle a jugar con los niños y de repente alguien grita que vienen cayendo unos paracaidistas.
Ellos vieron, dice, mira los paracaidistas que vienen cayendo. Pero ellos vieron que los paracaidistas no caían, sino que los paracaidistas se mantenían y se trasladaban de un lugar a otro.
On January 31st, 1998, people all over Santiago observed several humanoid figures descending from the sky to hover above the city. Captured on video by various witnesses, the case caught the imagination of the country and to this day remains unexplained. Rodrigo Funzalida, director of Chile's leading civilian UFO group, has agreed to meet me to look through the footage.
This is here, and appear the bodies flying over the cubs. For me, it's I don't explain it today. This,
but it does look like he's sort of dressed in Star Wars.
Ah, yes.
Gear.
Yes.
It really does look like a Starship Trooper.
Yes. Star Wars in Chile.
Yeah.
Yes. Similar.
Especially on the last shot, that the guy went coming down. It's like he has the stick here. He stood this way with the stick out, the thing over his head, and he stood there like that in his Star Wars Stormtrooper gear.
That's similar.
I mean, can you imagine stood here, seeing a Starship Trooper coming down out of the sky on a pogo stick? It really does look like Darth Vader's coming out of the sky. That must have been mad.
Mad or not, stuck out here in the Santiago sunshine, I can't see a thing. So we head to Rodriguez's truck to take a closer look at the footage.
It looks like it's somebody coming down out of the sky, you know, and it also looks like on the top where the head is, there's something sort of spinning around,
Yes.
like, you know, a little propeller on the top of the head, and then they're falling down, and then they seem to go back up.
The mystery is...
With no parachute on.
Not parachute.
Where'd they come from? What have they come out of? Helicopter? No.
No,
A plane?
no.
Have specialists looked at this film? Have they specialists analysed it? And what
yes.
do they say?
First, it's not a military exercise.
No.
It's authentic, it's original. The Chilean official research don't explain it today. It's one open case.
I have not got a clue what it is. Can we see that again?
Okay.
One of the reasons this case is unusual is the sheer number of witnesses and their accounts are intriguing. Some motorists reported seeing some of the figures vanishing into the clouds, whilst those on the ground described others disappearing down into the city, never to be seen again. All very mysterious.
Yo era el encargado de analizar las fotografías y los videos que llegaban al comité. Y estaba muy claro, es a plena luz del día, cerca del atardecer ya, pidió informes a meteorología y se confirmó de que el viento en esa zona y a esas alturas iba en otra dirección, no en la dirección en que iban flotando los objetos.
How many people in Chile believe this is extraterrestrial?
70%.
70%?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It is a UFO, it's unidentified.
Unidentified, yes.
It's flying object, moving object.
Yes.
A UMO. And has this type of thing been seen before in other places?
Yes, on the mountain range have very interesting UFO case similar to this case.
The other cases in Chile are just the tip of this very weird iceberg. This is a truly global phenomenon. The internet buzzes with reports of strange humanoid figures descending from the sky. And in the last 10 years alone, sightings have been made in Mexico, India and the USA, to name but a few. Some reports are more credible than others, but the Santiago case is right at the top of the peculiar pile.
Well, it's definitely not nonsense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it some sort of experimental parachute, not parachute, but some experimental landing to Earth gear that we've never seen? I don't know. It looks like a team of some sort coming down. This is one of the strangest, mysterious things that I've ever seen. It really is.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
La conclusión final a la que llegamos en el CEFAA, la verdad es que no pudimos llegar a una conclusión final en realidad. Quedó un poco en el aire porque no hay una explicación clara para lo que vimos, no hay cómo... no se trata de objetos terrestres, fue haciendo un descarte de todo lo que no era, al final no queda nada terrestre que pueda explicarlo. Por nadie, no eran objetos voladores conocidos, digamos. Eran ovnis, objetos voladores no identificados.
The analysts at CEFAA might not be able to tell us what these figures are, but I know exactly what they look like to me.
It looks like a Star Wars trooper stood on a pogo stick under a woman's hairdryer, coming down from the sky. It does, it looks like a Starship Trooper.
Of all the things I've seen so far in Chile, this final case is perhaps the most baffling, but maybe some of these questions just don't have a conventional explanation. Although my motive for this journey was to seek answers to my own UFO story, what I've discovered is that here on the other side of the planet, through our shared experiences, I have a real connection with this place and its people. It's comforting to learn that I'm not alone and that Chile was the perfect place to come on my search.